We're starting out this episode with some hot sauce facts. Evidence exists that chilies have existed and were eaten in Central America and South Americas as long as 7000 BC. In the United States of America, the first commercially available bottled hot sauce was available for sale in 1807 in Massachusetts. There is no current Guinness World Record holder for the largest collection of hot sauce. The biggest reported possibly a world record hot sauce collection is that of Vic Klinko from Phoenix, Arizona, who has over 6,000 bottles of hot sauce. You can find him on Instagram at Pepperboy143. Cheers! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, craft spirit enthusiasts, and those interested in the intoxicating world of craft distilleries, cideries, meaderies, wineries, and the occasional foray into breweries. It's Rich Shane, and welcome to Fermented Adventure, the podcast, where we bring you the fascinating people that are making the mash, fermenting, distilling, bottling, pouring, and delivering to you some of the finest libations in the world. Before we get started, here are a few housekeeping items. Thank you for bringing the podcast into wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We truly are grateful that you have chosen to listen and make us part of your day. It would mean the world to us if you left a 5-star review. This helps us climb in the rankings, and it makes it easier for others to find us. Don't hesitate to leave us your comments as well. If the podcast didn't meet your expectations, tell us why. We're always striving to improve. You can find us at fermentedadventure.com. We are on Instagram and Facebook as Fermented Adventure. Email us at fermentedadventure@gmail.com. All right, FA Nation, let's meet our guests. She's Anna Dausman. I'm Rich Shane. This is Fermented Adventure, the podcast. Anna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
All right, we're going to get into it. It's been a couple of months since we saw each other, and we got to be introduced to Goodlands Food Co. Your sauces, your hot sauces, delicious, creative. How did all that get started for you?
Oh, thanks, Rich. Yeah, so we're a Philly-based company, and this is one of those stories of a pandemic hobby turned into something bigger. So this all started back in lockdown 2020. I had a community garden plot actually in the Woodlands Cemetery. So folks that are familiar with Philadelphia and West Philly in particular might have heard of it. It's a cemetery, also a community green space in our neighborhood, and started growing ghost peppers as a little inside joke to myself, growing ghost peppers in the cemetery. And yeah, just started making hot sauce for family and friends when that was ready to go. The first batch I made was with ghost peppers and an heirloom frying pepper called the Jimmy Nardello, which is a specialty of New Jersey and this kind of region. And it was just so delicious. And the response was so positive that I just kind of started playing around with different varieties.
Now, all right, so go back to you were growing ghost peppers. By the way, it was an inside joke to you, but now you let everybody know. And I thought that was really funny, actually. Have you always been a hot pepper or a pepper aficionado?
You know, it's funny. I love spicy food. It's definitely something I've grown into enjoying even more as I've kind of, gotten older and experimented more with flavor combinations. But really, and I think this is part of the inspiration behind the company as well, behind Goodlands, I love hot sauces that complement food. And I'm a big foodie. I love to cook and I love to host and entertain other people. So I think also kind of the inspiration behind some of our flavor combinations and what makes them really tasty is wanting them to pair well with foods and not compete with flavor on the plate.
I feel the same way. And for Dawn and I will tell you, just about every meal, we have some sort of hot sauce iteration.
Yeah.
Because they complement food so well. And I love the experience. And I know there are people that don't, and then there are people that are hot sauce. What do you call somebody that's really into hot sauces? Is that something you call somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in my mind, there's like a few different customer profiles or people we meet who love hot sauce. And so like one profile might be a heat seeker, someone who wants like the hottest sauce out there. And we do have some spicy sauces, but for us, it's a lot more about the flavor.
Yeah, and that's what I find. We don't gravitate towards how hot can it be. We gravitate towards that's a wonderful flavor. And I love that there's heat to that flavor. And for when Dawn and I met with you the first time, that's what we got from your hot sauce. tons of flavor and things that I can say I don't think we've seen since or before we met you. So Goodlands Food Co. How did you come up with that name?
Yeah, it's like a little homage to where we started from. And the same with our ginkgo leaf logo. So Goodlands is actually just a little wink to the Woodland Cemetery that I mentioned where we began. And the ginkgo leaf there is actually part of Philly's horticultural history and part of the Woodlands history. Ginkgo trees were actually first planted in North America in the Woodland Cemetery here in Philadelphia. And it's one of the most ancient tree species, in the world. So it's pretty cool that Philly gets a slice of that history. And it's one of the more like visual aspects of the woodlands as well. I think a lot of people know the woodlands in the fall for their giant ginkgo trees. So it's kind of both of those elements tied into one for us.
Pardon the interruption. Thank you so much for listening to Fermented Adventure, the podcast. Could you do us a favor? Hit that follow button. It makes it easier for others to find us, and it helps us climb in the rankings. Take a screenshot of the podcast, post it, tag us, and let everyone know that you listen to the Fermented Adventure podcast. Now, back to our podcast. You are keeping our history streak alive on the podcast. It seems like for the last half dozen podcasts we've done, history comes into play. And you just taught me something as somebody that's lived in the Philadelphia regional area all my life. I didn't know the ginkgo was brought to and grown here. That's amazing in itself. You have such a strong knowledge of horticulture too. Is that something you have a background in, or just another passion you have?
Oh my gosh, I wish I had more of a background in it. I think it's just like, it kind of just like, bleeds into the territory in Philadelphia because this city has so many, deep roots around horticulture on plants and, seed exchange and all of that. So even between the Woodland Cemetery and Bartram's Garden, like not to get too deep into the local history, but there's a strong relationship there. So it's just cool to, I've had a chance to start growing food in a place that is part of Philly's history in that way.
You are part of the birth of a company from the pandemic. Many people that we speak to have had that origin story. You grew ghost peppers. You added another native New Jersey pepper to that sauce. Were there some aha moments that this just became kind of something that just tickled your fancy? And then now, how did it become like, oh my God, this is a business now?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's such a great and thoughtful question. I think it was, I've really, again, as someone who loves to cook, loves to eat, loves like flavor and taste and all of that, have always wanted to have a food company. So it's sort of like looking for the right combination of elements of what I thought would work, and had the right reception from other people. And so I think the first point of feedback, like we've talked about, was just the taste of people responding just to the batches I was giving away as gifts of like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, could you sell this? And then a couple months down the line, so, the pepper season is pretty short for us. It's in zone 7, it's like very late summer into very early fall. So I feel like you're looking at about 6 weeks there, not a whole lot of time to work with that product. And so I ended up with a lot of green ghost peppers left on my plant. And so the second recipe that I got into was just green ghost peppers, cilantro, and lime. And that was a really different flavor profile from like the sweet Jimmy Nardella, lots of savory garlic and that nice like tropical ghost pepper flavor. So that's all to say, started getting really creative with flavor pairings and combinations. And the next point of feedback we got was around color. Like people loved the vibrant taste, but they also loved how bright our hot sauces were. And so those were kind of our first 4 flavors initially were the sweet ghost pepper, the Serrano cilantro lime, just switching to Serranos for availability, a more tropical orange habanero, and then a carrot habanero, which was like a nice kind of bold, super spicy, and like kind of a darker, deeper orange. And I felt like, once I had tested out those recipes, the feedback was so positive. And I think also, like for a lot of other folks who are just kind of trying something out for the first time, hearing from someone, can I buy this, is so empowering. If you're not sure that that's, what you're doing, is this a hobby, is this professional, where am I placing myself? So that was really inspiring, knowing that people wanted more. Yeah.
You said inspire. Who mentors you? Who inspires you in the pepper world, the hot sauce world, that kind of gives you some direction or gives you that feedback in a way? Do you have somebody or some people?
Yeah, I mean, not to be too corny about it, but I mean, I think I look at our peers in the space, not just other hot sauce producers, but other small food business owners, people that know the kind of like hustle and drive and constant creativity it takes. I find them to be really inspiring. Hearing how we're all making it happen. And then like our customers really, because we get to do so many markets that I feel like I'm constantly meeting folks who, like you, Rich and Don, you guys have your own orientation to this, your own perspective, your own palates. And so getting to sample with people in person and just hearing the responses and, drives me to do better and continue to like hone our products. But also sometimes people will say, I like this, but I wish you had one hotter, or I like this, but I wish it was getting more of, X ingredients. So I feel like that drives a lot of our growth.
Are you growing more peppers besides ghost peppers now, or is that the mainstay of what you produce?
I've pulled back from growing peppers, partly because we have 10 different flavors of hot sauce. So it's a lot to be, keeping in rotation year round. And also because we're in the Delaware Valley, we have so much rich agriculture around us and so many producers. So I've become really reliant on, folks that are already producing peppers that are really high quality and, yeah, high quantity as well. Yeah. So mostly, yeah, relying on other producers here, but when I can, I do love growing my own peppers, even just to like stay in sync with the seasons and to see like what's coming off the plant at what time.
What I really appreciate is you're staying true to that agriculture here. That it appears that you've got the cranberry, you've got these wonderful, vibrant styles that kind of take in the agriculture in the area, almost like what a winery might do or a whiskey producer with the terroir, with the provenance of what they're producing. Is if somebody were to say, "Hey, Anna, what's the mission statement, or how do you describe a Goodlands Food Co. hot sauce?" Is there a lane that you say, this is our lane, this is how we want to stay?
Yeah, I mean, I like to say Goodlands creates colorful, seasonally inspired hot sauces for people who love flavor. Just to situate ourselves, we know that, we want to be inspired by the seasons, just like other home cooks and chefs and enthusiasts are inspired by the seasons. And we want it to taste good. We want it to make your food, taste even better. So I especially love connecting with hot sauce enthusiasts who likewise themselves love to cook, but so many of us are so busy that it's hard to do that. So we're trying to kind of like align the values of wanting to stay in touch with the seasons while making a product that's really based around convenience.
What we have here is a spice flight. And that's another thing. So inventive. I love your take on a number of different things. I've never seen a
Thank you.
spice flight before. Little bottles, like little gift sets, but it gives you a chance to try. And if you're not if you're not ready to commit, right, or you're ready to commit, but you just want a little bit of variety, you have these here. On this spice flight, what? All right, so the four we have are the spice cranberry hot sauce, the maple chili garlic hot sauce, the lemon love. I mean, I'm lemon love. Okay, and this is like jalapeno dill pickle hot sauce. I can't wait to try to understand the story or get to know the story of how the dill pickle and the jalapeno came into. But I think that's a very Philly thing. But you can tell me which one
Absolutely.
of these should we start with?
My gosh. Well, I always advise people to go mildest to hottest. So I'd say start with the spiced cranberry.
Okay, good. Because like you're asking me, I haven't tried these in like months, so I haven't opened the bottles. I've been waiting. We've
Oh
been
my
waiting
gosh.
patiently for you, Anna.
You've been so patient. I know. Thank you.
Well, you've got a lot of hot sauces to make to please your customers, and everybody's waiting on you. So I understand it. All right, so
Yeah,
when
and
you
the
start with
spiced
the cranberry,
cranberry. Yeah, and so let me say about the spiced cranberry. This one I feel like so it's super mild. Some might call it even barely a hot sauce. I think it's one to me that's like sort of in between a hot sauce and a chutney. And I think it's like it's just as at home on a sandwich as it would be on like a cheese board or charcuterie board. So you've got lots of complex flavor in there. You've got cloves, ginger, fresh ginger, a little bit of cinnamon. You've got a Merlot vinegar in there to kind of round out the acidity of the cranberry. There's a little bit of maple sugar in there, lots of orange zest, and surprisingly some shallots for balance, for a little bit of savory character. And then you have a bird's eye chili pepper.
I've said this about other things that we've tried on the podcast, and this holds true to form. I want a candle that smells like this. This I want to put a wick in there. I want to light it. I want my whole house to smell like this hot sauce, because as you're describing it, you're taking me on a journey as to what I'm identifying on my nose. Right, opening it right out of the bat, you get the tanginess of the cranberry. It's so prominent. Then the cloves sneak up on you. There's a sweet component, and all my mouth wants now is turkey. I just want,
Yes.
I want Thanksgiving between two pieces of bread, and I want to dip this every single bite. I want to dip this. You can add this to mayonnaise or an aioli if you wanted to, right?
Absolutely.
There's so many ways you can use this, but I want to try this on duck and see how that would work.
Absolutely.
But even pork, but yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great on pork. It's even nice just with like a simple sharp white cheddar. I mean, I think there's like so many iterations, but I feel like this hot sauce has such a complex flavor that it really works best as like kind of the lead flavor.
I would even try this on ice cream.
I love that.
Pound
Yes.
cake. Or like a simple cake. There's not a lot of heat here. It's just a warming.
Yes, not a lot.
And I wonder how much of those, like you said, cloves and the baking spice come in that also become part of that warming aspect.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's perfect for like, kind of toasty fall, like winter, kind of dishes. You mentioned desserts. I've tried this too on an apple crumble, or like a cobbler situation. It's really tasty.
I'm thinking now, where can we go with a cocktail for this? But we'll work on that. This is really lovely. And all right, you're taking me back to our first time we met. And what really hit home again is flavor, complex flavor. It's not, hey, we made a hot sauce with cranberry in it. We made this wonderful balanced story of all these flavors. This is delicious. And now that my mouth has kind of gotten used to the cranberry and some of the other spices, I'm starting to get the vinegar notes, the tart, more tartness to it. So this is just so wonderful to play with.
Okay.
All right, I mean, our first flight. I can't wait to go to the next one.
Excellent. Okay, so also I want to say, Rich, you were like the greatest hype man. You make everyone feel so good about our work and our products. I appreciate it.
I will be honest. You would probably hear less enthusiasm if I didn't like it. So,
all right, well, fingers crossed. Here we go.
I wonder about that because I'm pretty much an open book on stuff. And, I wonder if people knew the, my personality stuff. When I really didn't like it, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is nice. Okay, it's good. It tastes like hot sauce. Okay. No.
Right.
No, this is good.
Good.
Or I'd be going through with the burnt tongue right now, going,
Yeah. Well, we'll end on the hot note. I think.
Okay.
So
good.
the first three and these in this pack. So by the way, this spice flight you mentioned, we make spice flights. I like to kind of package them in different themes. So there's like a couple of seasonal ones. This one, the one that you guys have, is called Magic Sandwich because I feel like all four flavors just work really well in everyday food as well as elevating like a special dish. So it adds a little bit of kind of magic to it. So the next one I would say to try is maple chili garlic. This is one of our top sellers. I'd say it's a tie between this and one other flavor in the set. This one does go through a fermentation period. So we use Fresno chilies in here, garlic, and then a Pennsylvania source maple sugar, as well as, of course, some vinegar to balance it out. So you get lots of kind of funkiness in there. It's pretty bold on the garlic, and it's, I would say, more subtle on the maple. But this is like a really nice all-purpose hot sauce.
On the nose, because these are now getting a chance to be open. They're getting a chance to get that oxygen in them. So they're things that are just, they can't wait to come out, right? So that chili, I would liken it to almost like the nose of sriracha sauce.
Absolutely.
Get, but then that garlic kicks in, and it almost has, and maybe because of the maple, it's almost like a toasted garlic. So I don't know
Hmm.
if you toast your garlic on that or what may be creating this toasted note garlic on it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get that. I do think the maple helps bring that out. And then, everything changes and kind of metamorphosizes in the process of fermentation. So, yeah, we notice tons of growth of flavor in that phase.
The vinegar component and the pepper component, I almost get this like when you open up a jar of pimentos or those vinegar peppers, right? That's what I
Hmm.
get on my nose. I don't get as much of that sweet, that maple on the nose. It doesn't come off sweet, but again, what I find is my mind is already saying, for me, there's got to be some roast beef here. I feel like you're creating like the magic sandwich plate. So it automatically has my head saying, what kind of sandwich do I want to put, just like a nice cold roast beef. I don't know. I'm maybe a nice Munster cheese.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And I'll say peak summer. I mean, I grew up in Virginia, so we ate a lot of tomato sandwiches in the summertime. And for me, even something as simple as just like a tomato sandwich with a nice layer of mayonnaise and some maple chili garlic hot sauce is lovely.
all right. So you're taking me up a little bit. This has a nice warming heat. It's in the back of my throat, but you don't lose the earthy component of the pepper,
Mhm.
and you said it's fermented. So I believe you're getting some of those notes that you would get from a fermented hot sauce. Not that I can speak directly to those because you're the expert. I'm just trying these out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think for what I've observed with our hot sauces is along with developing a little bit more complexity in the flavor profile there, when you ferment it, we just get a lot more of that umami. It just sort of like melds all those flavors together.
All right, I'm putting that on pizza, by the way, too. I just
Absolutely. That is one of the favorite applications for maple chili garlic.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't read anything. I have no idea. You didn't give me the answers before. We've never met before except for once. So
Uh-huh.
no, I'm like, I'm starting to think that would be so great on pizza.
Yeah.
Um, that would be fun. All right, those are two great hot sauces.
Great.
I'm starting to do more food pairings, but I'm looking at the other two waiting on us. We got the lemon love and we've got the jalapeno dill. Which one should we tantalize and entice the listeners with next?
Let's do dill pickle third, and then we'll end with lemon love.
All right, so we're gonna do this one. All right. What is this? It's jalapeno dill pickle hot sauce. What was the magic metamorphosis of coming up with this?
Yeah, this is just like a beautiful hybrid little kind of sandwich monster hot sauce, which I love. You've got lots of like dill pickle flavor on the front. This is to me like reminds me of the hot pickles we would make growing up in the summertime. My mom has this great recipe, and we'd make these like crunchy little pickle rounds in the fridge. And I just wanted something that reminded me of that. So you're essentially just taking, you have all your beautiful fresh jalapenos. We've got a mountain of fresh dill that we chop up into that. So you're getting all of that vibrant green herbaceous flavor. And then we're toasting coriander and black pepper. And then, of course, adding in a hearty amount of garlic in there. So it's essentially like all the components of an incredible pickle brine, and then you're just adding a little bit of spice on there too.
If I have nothing to say, it's because I'm just standing here, nosing this and going through all the things that you mentioned, the pickle brine, the dill, the garlic. I mean, the other spices I think just blend together to create this wonderful harmony of what you get on the nose. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you definitely could use this in a Bloody Mary, which I think would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Something maybe even when you're cooking, something more tomato based, like a relish, or I don't know, just a lot of different stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, I don't know why, but I want to try this on corn on the cob. Um,
Oh my God, that sounds so good. It's great on falafel too.
oh
Like if
yeah,
you're getting like a falafel wrapper, like a gyro, bring in like all those herbs.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm going your way, and we're going to put it also in some sort of hummus. So
Love that.
we could do that too. See, that's what happens. We work together, and we kind of look at the map, and you say, all right, but there's a great place to stop over here. So let's go see the tahini, or let's go see the falafel, and we'll go with that. Um, I love this pickled jalapeno thing you got going on here. It's weird, but I like it. Nobody.
I'm so glad.
Is anybody doing this that you know? Have you done any research that anybody has done this flavor before?
You know what's funny? So I thought I was so creative when I made a pickle hot sauce, and I was feeling really proud of myself. And then I did a search and was like, oh, there's some other pickle hot sauces out there for sure. And I actually think it's becoming a more popular flavor profile that I'm seeing from other hot sauce companies, which I love, because it's like, just like there's so many varieties of hot sauce, there's so many, varieties of pickles out there, and everyone's, got their opinion on what they like best in their pickle of choice. So I feel like we're still seeing all that variety here as well.
The Big Dill. This is a traveling pickle extravaganza. Was just in town a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
I would tell you, I know that there's one going to be in Baltimore, and I know it was such a great turnout that they're coming back. They should be calling you to bring this jalapeno dill pickle hot sauce, because people are going to love this.
Oh, thank you.
This is just delicious. And what I am just getting, you're taking me again through the progression. I'm a fan of pickles, so I like that. And the dill gives it this nice sweet note to it. But you've treated the jalapenos. When I say that, you didn't just, want to go after and kill me with the jalapenos. You get to taste jalapeno, and it's, again, nice and warming and spicy. For those that like spicy, you're going to be happy with this. For those that don't like spicy, you're going to be happy with this. This is like a middle of the road, but we go back to that theme. It's flavor, tons of flavor, I'm thinking, I want to put this on hot dog. Oh
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hot dog, potato salad. I feel like you could take it to pretty much any picnic spread and it'd be great.
All right. So there are those heat seekers, those hot sauce aficionados, that go with their hot sauce holsters. You've seen these, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, they're the coolest.
So you're going to need to create, how they put the belt part where you could put bullets in them?
Yes.
So you're going to have to create this thing that attaches to your belt, and you kind of slide these 4 hot sauces in. Because if you go out to eat somewhere, a holster only gives you 1. This, I got 4 bullets in the chamber. I mean,
I love it.
If you want to order fish, I got you covered. If you want to order chicken, I got you covered. We're all covered here. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't even take anything for that idea for when you start.
Thanks, Rich.
It's the Goodlands.
I mean, I'll say too. Yeah, that's our new cutting edge merch. I appreciate it. When we make the holsters, I'm definitely sending one your way. I will say, I mean, that was part of the like double entendre for Spice Flights too, is wanting to make a hot sauce that could travel with folks. It's 2 ounces, so sometimes I feel like I used to have a job where I was traveling all the time, and there's sometimes nothing more frustrating than being away from home and not having the comfort of preparing your food the way that you want or seasoning it the way that you want. So it's kind of nice to have a little option you can just tuck in your backpack or briefcase or what have you.
Yeah, I would love, and I think you can get these through the TSA. I don't know. I mean,
absolutely, you can. Yeah, 2 ounces, you're safe.
Yeah, they're not confiscate. Well, they may confiscate. They make up the rules. They're going to confiscate this. Who knows? I don't know. Anna, where can people find you if they want to purchase this hot sauce? Can they order off your website? You ship it nationally, worldwide? How's that work?
We're shipping nationally. Yeah. So folks can order on our website. They can find us at in-person markets. We do a lot of markets in the Philly area. So we have that information also up on our site or on our Instagram. So we're on Instagram at Goodlands Food Co. And then our website's just goodlandsfood.co.
So if you are from Kansas, I don't know why I thought of Kansas. Something just popped into my head. If you're in Kansas and you want to order this hot sauce, go right to the website. You can order in Kansas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
All right. And minimum order, maximum order. There's no maximum.
No minimum order.
You'll send pallets, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We ship wholesale as well. So if folks want to check us out, we're on Fair.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. The markets you do, what's that like for you? You're out there at different temperatures, different climates. What's the experience like to be owning a food company and sharing what you do with the masses?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing markets. It's something that, I love always having a touch point with our customers, whether they're familiar faces or new customers. And it's really helpful because I feel like some of the best points of feedback we get are just the questions that people ask, right? Like, how spicy is it? Like, what's your hottest hot sauce? Oh, ghost pepper. I'm a little scared to try that one, which lets us know, okay, how do we make this friendlier and more approachable to folks? So, yeah, I feel like it's one of our best ways of just like, learning how people perceive our hot sauce. And I will say, like, my confidence in what we bring to the table as a hot sauce company, I guess, no pun intended, comes from seeing how people respond to our product in person. So I just think it is so valuable to be there. Folks respond to our packaging. They love how colorful it is. And like I mentioned, folks get to taste it just like you're tasting it now. And, we see their face light up, or we see some confusion if maybe that flavor didn't land with them in the same way.
If you are, and you're a listener, and you're not, and you haven't gone to these farmers markets, you don't go to some of the local farmers markets, I would say look up in your area and see what's available. One of the great benefits of going and meeting somebody like you, Anna, is you're talking to the maker of this. You can ask particular questions about ingredients. And I think what really happens for you as a consumer, happens for me, is I get to meet you and I have a connection to what goes into the bottle. And it's so limited these days where you actually can get directly to the source, to the producer of these products. And that's why farmers markets and they're so valuable. And yeah, you can go shopping in a supermarket. And I'm telling you, you would love to have some of your bottles, over time in a major supermarket brand. And
Absolutely.
you love that. I mean, that's the goal. You're a food company and you want to grow. But right now, particularly, if think about when you could have met somebody like Dave's Insanity Sauce, right? I mean, that's the OG. I think if you could have met Dave, I don't know if you still can, or if he does public bottle signings. I don't know how that works. But you can meet Anna now. And Anna's going to tell
That's
you,
right.
Hey, we only got these cranberries so many times a year, and once they're out, right? Yep. And she'll tell you about the struggles, but how she comes about them. It pops into her head in a dream. I got to stick I got to stick pickle juice in this. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So this lemon love, is I opened it, and it's this wonderful lemon. It's a lemon bomb. I'm getting lemon meringue pie.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And I got to tell you, we like chased that lemon flavor. I mean, it worked really hard to find a way to keep that in the bottle.
So talk about the process. How did you get that in the bottle?
Yeah, well, let me say for a second too, this was the conception for this hot sauce. So my brother got married last year to a really good friend of mine. And it was my pleasure to introduce the two of them. And so when when we knew that they were getting married, I really wanted to give them hot sauce as their wedding gift. So we developed this hot sauce together. I put together a bunch of test recipes and asked them for feedback. And so that's why it's called Lemon Love. It's really a celebration of, my friendship with both of them, and of course their marriage together. So I love that, that side of it. But yeah, so I think, a lot of the kind of the deeper, like richer lemon flavor in there comes from preserved lemons, which we're preparing ourselves, letting those cure over several weeks. And then fresh lemon, I mean, it's all in the lemon zest. So we don't skip any steps here because we really want all that full flavor to come through. You've got more maple sugar in there. It's really important to me to use local sugar when we can. And so I love that there's like a family run maple farm in North Pennsylvania that produces. You've got, again, lots of toasted black peppercorns in there, lots of garlic, turmeric, smoked paprika. And then we use a dried chili pepper in there. We really wanted this to bring more heat than a lot of our fresh prepared hot sauces do. And so to do that, I just wanted to kind of concentrate and double down on the chili peppers by using a dried variety. And then there's a Guyanese chili pepper in this hot sauce. That's a weary pepper that I love. It's hard to come by in these parts. So we get a dried pepper for that. But my sister-in-law's mother makes a Guyanese pepper sauce. So we wanted to include part of that in this recipe as well.
Well, it's almost like you get this lemon this lemon soda. That
I love that.
It's this wonderful effervescence of lemon, but then the earthy components start to come in. The spicy components, the as you pointed out, the toasted peppercorn, the turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what a weary pepper is. I'm gonna have to Google that or something.
Please do.
I don't know
so good.
I don't know what the component of that is. But even on the nose, this is just I'm gonna just put a little bit on my mustache, and then I'm just gonna smell it for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Get some spicy perfume going on.
That's everything that. Oh wow, that is everything that's advertised. All right. Give me a second while the spices just work through my mouth. Lemon. So it's all there. And then this wonderful spice, it hits you and it stays, but it doesn't take you out. I mean, obviously I'm still able to speak with you. So there's enough heat here. I would call this more like a medium to hot on the heat. Mm-hmm. You're going to have, if you did a lot more of this, you might be feeling it a little bit more than I do. Yeah. Again, this is chicken, this is pork, this is fish. This is like, yeah, I mean, I could see taking this and, that charcuterie that you spoke about, doing something with that. Wonderful. Just all of these are so wonderful. I'm so glad we met you and have a chance to experience these.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Yeah. So are you going to, or do you do what you do at hot sauce festivals? Can people find you there?
Yeah, they can find us at some. We're kind of, growing and expanding into that region. We've tried to really kind of build our presence locally in and around Philly and kind of stay present and, be meeting people regularly. But yeah, we'll be at the Baltimore Hot Sauce Festival this November. Super excited about that. Yeah, we'll be at the Bowers Chili Pepper Festival in September, even sooner. Yeah,
I was going to ask you. I mean,
that is such a good time.
That is a great hot sauce festival. And will this be your first time there?
This is our second. Our first time was last year, and we had a blast. Yeah,
and we didn't go last year. If you haven't been to the Bauer Hot Sauce Festival, right? Bowers,
Bowers,
definitely put it on your calendar, but make a day of it. Because the reality of it is, like a lot of these festivals, beer festivals and, whiskey festivals, you got to take your time. And you got to take your time with hot sauces too. Yeah. Because you could do a couple and you're done for the day. You literally are. Not these, Anna, because they're like flavor.
These are friendly level. Yeah.
But they're approachable to everybody in that space. So if you haven't, look it up. We'll link it in the show notes and everything else. Yeah. But great on you, because I think that those that are in the hot sauce world are really going to appreciate and love what your hot sauces are. So I'm assuming this was a big hit at the wedding. Did you serve these? Did you give these away as gifts?
Yes, these were takeaway gifts, and they did well. I was really excited. That was their official debut, was at the wedding last year.
I would think that one of the appetizers or hors d'oeuvres would have needed to have incorporated this hot sauce.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
Yeah. All right, let's gather everybody back together. We have to review this, the whole thing, the vows, just so
count me in.
have all these hot sauces or one of the hot sauces in there as a compliment. Yeah. Are there some flavors or some things that you're working on that you're putting together that have that people can look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, Lemon Love it's getting up there, but it's not like a super hot sauce. And I would love to bring a hot sauce to the table that is, just a little hotter, brings the heat up a little bit more. So would love to work on something a little bit like smoky or even like mushroomy. I get really excited seeing mushrooms in hot sauces. So working on that. And then what we're hearing from folks too is wanting more like fruity hot sauces. So we have a little bit of experimentation to see what we can bring that will satisfy that curiosity, but still be a little different. I'll hopefully have something probably next year, but we'll be working on it this fall and this winter.
As an artist, as a craftsperson that you are, it's probably very similar to, Michelangelo, and everybody gave them, hey, Michelangelo, could you paint this next? Could you do this next? Maybe something a little more red or blue or something like that. I think that's a testimony to you that what you're doing is resonating with people. That they're like, wow, what can you do with this flavor, right? What can you do with this spice? I've never heard, and again, you're in the know, but I've never heard of a mushroom hot sauce before.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen shiitakes in a couple hot sauces, which has gotten me really excited. And I think that's partly kind of what's inspiring it. But I really want to like figure out if we can capture more of that like umami essence and really bring that out. So again, it's like it's not just a hot sauce, but it's a condiment too. It's like bringing something extra to the table. One other that I've been really inspired by a flavor I'd really love to capture in a hot sauce. I would love to make a corn hot sauce. I've tried a couple different methods, like get that like kind of sweetness, that like essence of summer, and it's been challenging to get the texture and the flavor just right. But I'll be working on that in the hot sauce lab.
All right, like a cream corn hot sauce, like
yeah, or maybe even like an elote style corn hot sauce. So maybe on the milder side, so you're still getting all the character of the corn, all that sweetness, all that freshness, but like a little bit of like a smoky characteristic of creaminess.
All right, we'll work on this together because I'm thinking when you said that and you said corn, like a pasole.
Oh, that could be delicious too. Yeah.
And you almost get the broth that creates the corn flavor. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if again, you've got the tortillas, right? In the pasole. I mean, you've got some components there that bring in a number of different ways to do the masa, a lot of different things to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right, I got the holster idea, the pasole idea.
Beautiful.
We're just here to help because the more you do, the happier we are.
Amazing.
And is there anything we haven't talked about on the podcast? Anything you want our listeners to know more about you or more about Goodlands Food Co?
Oh my gosh, just come and find us, ask us questions, try our food. One of my favorite things to hear from folks is what they put our hot sauce on. I had someone try our really citrusy orange habanero hot sauce and come back and tell me she put it on veggie sushi. Had never thought about that. I love that idea. So again, like getting lots of inspiration from that. So yeah, come meet us in person, come try our hot sauces, order a flight online if you feel so inclined, and yeah, report back. Let us know what you loved and what we can do better.
All right. Again, it's the beginning of July. Where are some of those places people can find you for the month of July?
Oh my gosh, month of July. Let's see. We'll be at Collingswood Farmers Market. We'll be at Clark Park Farmers Market. We'll be in and around the Philly area. You can also find us in a bunch of retail spots in the area. So check our website we have all of our stores that carry our hot sauces listed there. And you can stop by our shop. We're in West Philly. We share space with Third Wheel Cheese Co. So come by Thursday to Sunday and say hello.
Oh, that's awesome. And go check out your social media because you're going to put things on there, maybe some new releases. Go see Anna and her team in person. And look, when you get to the website or you get to the social media spot, just, leave a comment, like, share, that's what it's all about. People like to know that people are checking us out, that people see what we're doing and, they appreciate all the efforts. Anna, I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for being a friend of Fermented Adventure. And can't wait to try the mushroom sauce. Can't wait to try the pasole sauce. Can't wait to see
I'll keep you posted.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, hope to see you at Bowers. Thanks so much, Rich. This was so much fun.
You got it. Cheers.
Cheers.